Hi, ICMA. This is Alexandra Hudson, author of The Soul of Civility, Timeless Principles to Heal Society and Ourselves. And I wanted to say thank you for having me. It was a joy, it was a privilege to be with you in Philadelphia at the Local Government Reimagined conference and to meet so many of you and to hear firsthand how this crisis of not just division, but of dehumanization is showing up in our everyday, whether it's our town halls, whether it's at our, on our online community forums, or in our schools, in our neighborhoods. It's pernicious, it's everywhere. And the good news is there is hope. And one thing that gives me hope is each of you. Local government gives me an enormous amount of optimism for the future, for the kind of future where we are seeing our fellow human beings as they really are, as beings with dignity, worth, worthy of a bare minimum of respect, just by virtue of our shared personhood. And as we learned on Thursday in Philadelphia last week, sometimes respecting someone requires telling a hard truth, engaging in robust debate, not polishing over difference, not sweeping difference under the rug as politeness recommends we do, but it demands civility. Again, the art of human flourishing, the bare minimum of respect that we are owed and owe to others by virtue of our shared dignity and personhood and equal moral worth. It's more than just politeness. It's not just manners, etiquette, technique. It's respecting others enough to tell hard truths, engage in robust debates, but doing so in a way that doesn't dehumanize and degrade the personhood of the other. And civility is not just how we treat the person we like, the person we agree with, the person who can do something for us in return. It's how we treat the other, the person we don't like, the person we disagree with, the person who can never repay us, the person who we'll never see again. And that gives me hope for starting an era of multi-dimensional human flourishing in our world, a renaissance, a world of flourishing across difference, where our disagreement and our differences don't bring out the worst in us, as is so often the case now, but brings out the best in us. It promotes and affirms our humanity. It is, again, disagreement is a feature of life with others. It's a feature, a premise of democracy. It's not a bug. We learned about Edward Coles and William Penn, how these unsung heroes of civility in American history, how they can teach us that true respect and true civility can not just heal our broken world, but can be a catalyst for growth and progress and honesty in our world right now. And as a thank you and to encourage you, I would like to give you a few resources that one of which I promised you, and two others that a few of you asked me about at the conference. One is the one I promised you, called 7 Films to Start a Civic Renaissance in your community. So these could be films you screen this summer or next summer, and I've given you a little overview of each film and some questions that people in your community can get together and talk about to reflect, dive deep into the ideas about hospitality, about kindness to the stranger, about civility and politeness. And these are often old films, sometimes they're foreign films. My father's a cinematographer and a film buff, so I was kind of raised in that world. So don't be off put, give them a chance. Some of them are classics, like Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, and others are unbelievably amazing films that you may not have heard of, called, one of which is called Babette's Feast, about the power of a shared meal, breaking bread together as an underrated superpower to displace our resentments and heal our broken world and fill us up in a way that gives us the equanimity we need for life with others, this promising but fickle proposition of life with others. So that's one gift I'm including here, the seven films to start a civic renaissance in your community, and I hope that serves your community. Another is the reading guide for The Soul of Civility. Some of you said to me, maybe we'll do the 7 civility films, 7 films next summer, and we'd like to start with your book. And so this is, Urbandale, Iowa is one example. The mayor there and the city council, they chose my book to be the community reads. And so I'll be in Urbandale actually this week with the Central Iowa Chamber of Commerce to continue this work there. And so all of Urbandale are going to be reading my book together, and I've gifted them this reading guide to help them think deeply. What is an era of multidimensional human flourishing going to look like right here, right now, and where are we going to begin? So kind of using the book as a canvas for starting a civic renaissance in their community, built by them and sustained by them. So if that's of interest, I've included the reading guide as a gift to you for the Soul of Civility that has questions and chapters for each chapter to help you go deep and see it as a jumping off point for building a renaissance in your community. And the third is the Civic Renaissance Playbook. And this is a document I've put together just by observing how leaders across politics, geography, and vocation are taking the ideas of my book into practice and saying, how are we going to live now? How are we going to lead in a way that helps us flourish across difference? And that gives me unbelievable hope and joy to steward this, whether it's the Texas State Legislature, bipartisan, bicameral group that is building a civility initiative to help leaders there lead in a dehumanizing and toxic time, to build a culture where people are not afraid to bring their deeply held beliefs to the fore, or whether it's Cornell and other universities that are building a first-year curriculum and course around my book, or whether it's school districts, public, private, homeschool contexts that are using my children's book and curriculum, Heroes and Villains, The Soul of Civility for Young Citizens, in their classrooms to help students appreciate the gift of being human in ourselves and others, because that's the true purpose of education, is to cultivate our humanity, unlock human potential, cultivate that. So this is just more of a descriptive, inductive playbook, like how are these ideas actually taking root? And I hope that's an encouragement to you, reading this document, the Civic Renaissance Playbook, to show that it can be done. It is being done. We are not alone. Those of us who hunger for a different way of being and interacting, there is hope. And I loved meeting you. I cannot wait to see many of you again soon. And please let me know how I can be a resource to you. And thank you. Most of all, thank you for your local leadership. It gives me such hope and such joy for the future. And I can't wait to build a civic renaissance alongside you. Thank you again for having me in Philadelphia, and talk soon.